Today I'm turning 4 of the most popular cozy games into jewelry. The main problem? I only had random glass beads, stainless steel findings and a few laser cut metal charms to work with. Some games were surprisingly easy, while others took a lot more creativity and effort. But which cozy games did I choose? Well, that's for you to figure out. Some will be easy to guess while others nearly impossible. As I finish each piece, I will reveal the game that inspired it and you can see if your guess was right. I am Shugi, the artist behind Novyra jewelry and clay art, and I can't wait to show you what I made. Now let's get cozy and start making some jewelry. And don't forget to tell me in the comments how many games you guessed correctly. I will write the difficulty of each one on the transition screen, as you might have seen already. You may have noticed that I've started adding more visuals and sound effects to my videos. I've been trying to level up my editing and make my content feel a bit more polished, and these are some of my first attempts. I'm sure my style will keep evolving over time, but I think this is a pretty good start and I'm excited to see where it goes. I also made this little PNG model for the video. It was my very first time trying something like this, and honestly getting it to work as an overlay took way too longer than it should have, but after a lot of trial and error I finally figured it out just in time for the video. It's pretty simple for now, but I already have ideas for improvements and upgrades in the future videos. While making these pieces, I wanted them to be something you could actually wear every day rather than the exact replicas of objects from the games. Because of that, some of the designs are a bit more symbolic and inspired by the overall feel of the game, while others feature more recognizable icons and references. See if you can catch them. I would love to make more videos like this in the future, maybe focusing on a specific game, book, movie or series, and creating jewelry, trinkets, plushies or some other crafts inspired by the characters and the world. I already have a few ideas in mind, but if there is a game, book, movie or character you would like to see me turn into something handmade, let me know it in the comments. I would love to hear your suggestions. I also happily accept video game recommendations. I enjoy all sorts of genres: cozy games, survivals, RPGs, FPS games, PvP, PvE, competitive games. Honestly, I will play almost anything that isn't horror. Recently I found myself with a bit more free time and got back into playing Polia. If you enjoy cozy games with house building, farming, bug collecting, fishing, raising animals and a bit of story, I would definitely recommend giving it a try. One of the newest updates even added horses to the game. I absolutely love horses. Unfortunately, I haven't progressed far enough to unlock them yet, but I'm looking forward to it. Also, this video isn't sponsored by any of the games I mentioned in the video. I just really enjoy playing them and talking about them. For these earrings, I decided to paint the faces directly onto the beads with acrylic paint. Looking back, that probably wasn't the best idea since the paint could eventually scrape off with wear. Maybe I could seal them with polyurethane or another type of varnish. Or perhaps sculpt the faces from clay instead. I absolutely love how derpy they turned out though. Still made a faceless option, which I like a lot as well, but it might take away from the essence of the jewelry. I will probably keep experimenting with different methods and even make a short video testing them out. So if you don't want to miss that, it would mean a lot if you could like this video and subscribe. Here you can see the faceless and the original one side by side. Which one is better in your opinion? I want to play around with how to attach the leaf as well. Anyway, do you know which game inspired these earrings yet? I might have made your job a little too easy with this one. Don't these little derpy blobs remind you of certain magical spirits? Perhaps from one of the most popular farming sims? If your guess was Stardew Valley, you are correct. The little derpy blobs are the Jumino, specifically the green ones. The vines were inspired by those curly green trees that grow after the green rain, while the leaves and flowers represent the crops and the farming and just overall the feeling of the game. This is actually my first long video in my 90-day challenge I've talked about in my previous video. I will be releasing 3 more this month. If you want to know more about my challenge and know how you could help me with it, check out the video, which you can click on the screen right now, or I will just link it in the description as well. Also, let me tell you a secret about this video. I added 3 games I absolutely love and played quite a bit of, and one that I haven't actually played for a single minute, but I just love the aesthetic builds people make in it. It's going to be one of the later jewelry, which turned out as one of my favorites ironically. Anyway, back to this one. I made this little center charm first. Originally I tried making it more swirly and decorative, but it just wasn't working out in my opinion. I couldn't get the bottom connected neatly and the stainless steel wire is honestly pretty difficult to work with. It's extremely hard, holds its shape really well, and after a while it starts hurting my wrist, so I try to not bend it and cut it more than necessary. I know a lot of jewelry makers use sterling silver or coated brass wire because they are much easier to shape, but I personally prefer stainless steel. It doesn't tarnish as easily easily, and I don't have to worry as much about discoloration on the skin over time. I do offer gold colored findings as an option for my custom jewelry, but even those are gold plated stainless steel underneath, so they are still durable and made to last. I've actually had this dagger charm for over a year, but I've always been hesitant to use materials when I have a few of them. So usually I just sit there contemplating over a jewelry design and start overthinking things and asking myself, but what if I come up with a better idea later and this would be perfect for that instead? The tragedy. I think it's basically the crafting equivalent of putting something away because it might be useful someday, and then never actually using it. It just sits there for years until you either forget about it entirely or finally decide to get rid of it. So today, as a little character development, I'm choosing to use the cute little dagger charms instead of letting it live in my supply boxes forever. You know, I've realized that I've been making a lot of black and red jewelry lately, even though I hardly ever wear black myself. I think it's because I absolutely love dark academia and vampire aesthetics. There is just something about black and red together that scratches and itches my brain. They look so good. That said, I also have a soft spot for white and red. Maybe I should lean into that color combination more in the future designs. But of course, my absolute favorite colors are pink and different pastel shades of blue, green and yellow. I've started being fond of emerald green as it fits so well with gold and in my opinion is a perfect blend of cottage and royal core. I was unsure if I wanted to make a full necklace or a bit simpler one that has beads and charms only on the front. In the end I decided to go with a non-full design, as in my opinion fits the aesthetic of the game so much better. Talking of the game, do you have any idea which game inspired this necklace? It was Cult of the Lamb. Some people might argue that it isn't really a cozy game, but honestly, I think it qualifies. In Cult of the Lamb, you play as the sacrificial lamb building your very own cult while taking down powerful gods. Half the game is a fast-paced, action-packed roguelite, and the other half is all about base building, resource management, and taking care of your followers. It's also very funny at times, which makes the contrast between cute art style and the dark themes even better. So if you guessed Cult of the Lamb, congratulations, you got this one correct. I actually played Cult of the Lamb on the Nintendo Switch, but I'm definitely more of a PC player, so I've been thinking about picking it up on PC in the future. They've also released a new DLC called Woolhaven, and I've been dying to try it out. I managed to avoid most spoilers so far, but from what I've seen, it looks like a lot of fun. Also, I want to mention that their marketing team is amazing. They make such funny shorts. They also released a real heavy metal album, which is phenomenal in my opinion, and even held weddings for some of their fans. If you never played it, please check it out. Of course, I can understand if this game isn't really your vibe. For this next jewelry, which is a bracelet, I decided to try a new technique where I weave thin stainless steel wire through the jump rings and add smaller beads along the way. Depending on the colors you use, it can look like waves, vines, or even little branches wrapping around the bracelet. I never done something like this and it turned out a little stiffer than I expected, but I still really like it. Unfortunately, I accidentally made it one bit too long, which doesn't sound like much, but it ended up making the bracelet way too large to wear comfortably as a bracelet. On the bright side, it might actually work really well as an anklet. When making anklets, I prefer using split rings though instead of jump rings because they are much more durable. They are like impossible to open with bare hands. Anklets tend to get caught on things and experience a lot more stress than bracelets, so I like making them as sturdy as possible. If I decide to turn this design into a permanent product, I might offer both a bracelet and an anklet version. Anklets are especially popular during the summer after all, and I think this design would suit both really well and would also fit most of the pretty summer dresses or clothes anyone chooses to wear. I also absolutely love the adorable little leaves, shells and ladybug beads. Does it remind you of something together with the wave design? Well, this is pretty hard to guess because it is much more symbolic than any of the previous two. So I really can't blame you if you can't figure it out yet. I'm going to give you a little hint. It is actually a Nintendo exclusive game where you're stuck on an island. Well, if you guessed Animal Crossing, you were absolutely correct. And this is actually the game I've never played before, but I really enjoy seeing the different creative builds and islands people make in the game. I know this bracelet isn't exactly an obvious Animal Crossing reference, but that's actually intentional. I wanted the piece to be inspired by the game rather than being a direct copy of its most recognizable icons. That helps me avoid potential copyright issues, but it also makes the design feel more elegant and wearable. Instead of using the bell bag or the large leaf logo, I chose a smaller leaf charm and a cute little star. The woven beads represent the oceans surrounding the island, while the shells, ladybug and snails charms are inspired by all the bugs, fossils and collectibles you spent hours hunting for in the game. So rather than recreating Animal Crossing, I wanted to capture the feeling of exploring your island, collecting treasure and relaxing by the sea. And I'm in love with the soft pastel colors. It would fit most summer dresses so well in my honest opinion. And if you've created something you are really proud of in any of these games, I would really love to see it. Whether it's an amazing island in Animal Crossing, a beautiful farm in Stardew Valley, a cozy house in Polia, or anything else you have built, feel free to share it on social media and tag me using @Novyra. You can find my handle on the screen and in the description as well. I genuinely love seeing everyone's creativity and it always inspires me to try new ideas in my own project. Well, now move on to the last jewelry. This piece is actually designed as a hair accessory that you can twist into your hair. I have a curly hair, so it can be a bit tricky to insert, but once it's in, it holds really well. I make it in two sizes, one with a larger opening for thicker hair and one for finer hair types. The one you can see in this video is for finer hair. For the best results, I recommend creating a small braid first and then twisting that into the piece. This helps it sit more neatly and stay securely for longer. You can see me use this little machine to create my hair twists in the video. I did not design this as I do not have the 3D modeling experience to create something this precise to print. I actually found it on Reddit, but it helps me so much to make the hair twist. It was originally designed for springs, which is the perfect shape for this. I'm thinking of making the hair twists into like a customizable order, and perhaps it's even better as an art market product since people there can choose the little dangles they want to put on it, and if they prefer the stainless steel ones or the gold-plated stainless steel ones. What do you think? Would you wear something like this? I think they are also amazing for summer or for different fantasy fairs, or perhaps just everyday use as well. Anyway, this last one will be nearly impossible to guess as the flowers don't really give it away. It's inspired by a decently short, amazing occult puzzle game where you are the proprietor of a local plant store. You have to identify and find new plants to solve people's issues, and you even have the option to join a coven or a cult. You might know which game I'm already talking about. As it's really unfair and impossible to guess, I'm just going to tell you early. It's strange horticulture. The art, the game, and the atmosphere is chef's kiss, in my opinion. Only played 1 to 2 hours so far, but I'm thinking of playing it on stream in the future. I've been thinking about trying streaming for quite a while now. I would love to stream all sorts of things, from video games and coloring sessions to building miniature 3D models, arts and craft projects, and perhaps some product making. One thing I'm still torn on is whether I should stream on this channel or create a separate account. On one hand, it could be fun to keep everything in one place, but on the other hand, some of the games I enjoy, especially competitive ones, don't exactly match the cozy arts and crafts vibes of this channel. I'm currently thinking about streaming on Twitch and possibly multi-streaming to YouTube and TikTok. I would also most likely stream as a VTuber since I'm not quite comfortable showing my face online just yet. If you have any experience with streaming, VTubing or growing as a creative channel, I would love to hear your thoughts and advice in the comments. Should I keep everything under one brand, or would you prefer a separate gaming channel for streams? As I mentioned, I might make some products on stream as well. It could also be fun that chat helps me design a new clay figurine or jewelry. What do you think? Would you be interested? Talking of products, everything in this video will be available to purchase if the video reaches 20 likes, and I have a special coupon available for the first 5 people who order any 2 items from my store. You can get 15% off using the coupon code on screen, and you will also find it in the description. In my shop, you will find handmade jewelry, costume pieces, one-of-a-kind and limited edition designs, clay trinkets, keychains, magnets, and much more. Everything is designed and handmade by yours truly. We ship worldwide with a few exceptions, and shipping is always free within Hungary, free on orders over 200 euros within the EU, and free on orders over 300 euros for the rest of the world. Don't be disheartened if you couldn't grab the 15% off coupon. You can just go to my website and subscribe to my email marketing and get 10% off your whole order as well. And it doesn't have a minimum amount required, and I promise I won't spam you if you subscribe to my email marketing. I will only send you 1 email a month, and it will only contain discounts, the newest drop, and you will surely be the first one to know, so you can grab it as soon as it goes live. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell if you don't want to miss future uploads. Go grab a cozy game and have a lovely rest of your day. See you next time. Bye!